Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many familiar faces and equally inspiring to see the next generation of India's entrepreneurs, investors, and ecosystem builders gathered here tonight. I'm delighted to be part of the final edition of the 80 Soonicorn event, and it's so fitting that we are closing it here in Mumbai, a city which is synonymous with ambition, resilience, and perseverance. When we talk about India's startup ecosystem, the conversation often gravitates towards Bengaluru or Gurgaon. But Mumbai has been quietly and steadily crafting its own blueprint for the next generation of Soonicorns. Today, Mumbai has around 4,500 startups and it contributes almost 20% of the overall Soonicorns and unicorns in India. Maharashtra itself contributes towards 25% of the overall registered startups in India. And if you look at Mumbai over the last year, Mumbai has emerged as India's most funded startup hub in 2024, attracting $3.7 billion in funding. What gives Mumbai its unique edge? I call it the capital plus credibility equation. Here, financial institutions and investors coexist with ambitious new age founders. It's an environment that fuels growth but also demands accountability. In Mumbai, entrepreneurs don't just raise capital, they earn trust. They build not just fast, but they build it right. And when you look beyond Mumbai, Pune has emerged as a natural counterpart to what have been built out in Bombay. Together, Mumbai and Pune form the dual engines of Maharashtra's startup growth. Mumbai's strength in financial services and D2C brands has ensured that it has become a leader in fintech and D2C space and digital first brands. At the same time, Pune, with its strong manufacturing backbone, has seen a bunch of interesting companies come up in the entire deep tech and manufacturing tech space. Together, they represent the next generation blueprint for diversified, multi-sector startup growth. This evolution has happened against the backdrop of a maturing Indian private equity market. And that's a shifting, and that's largely because we have seen that, in essence, there has been a shifting from exuberance to endurance. From 2011 to 2021, investment volumes have grown from $10 billion to $77 billion, an eightfold increase in a decade. Since 2022, the funding has stabilized around $55 billion annually, signaling a market which is driven by fundamentals and not just hype cycle. However, there's always been a pertinent question when it comes to India's VC and PE markets, and that is, where are the exits? Well, 2024 was India's best ever year for exits. 320 IPOs raising $20 billion. And in 2025 so far, we have seen a great IPO market with several IPOs happening over the last 9 months. We already have seen 300 IPOs completed and they have raised roughly $16 billion. And there are more than 200 companies in the queue having filed the DRHP. These numbers tell a powerful story. India's private market have matured. We are now Asia Pacific's second largest PE destination, representing 20% of the region's activity, up from 15% in 2018. Let's talk about the Soonicorns, the bridge between ambition and achievement. India today has around 115 Soonicorns. Nearly 50 are valued more than $500 million. They have a strong product market fit, they have achieved scale, and have earned credibility. But the next phase of their journey will hinge on capital discipline and sustainable profitability. And this is where the Mumbai mindset comes to play. Mumbai's entrepreneurial DNA rests on three enduring pillars. The first pillar is capital access. As India's financial capital, Mumbai hosts the country's broadest network of venture funds, private equities, and family offices, offering capital across every stage from seed to pre-IPO. But this is smart capital, patient, discerning, and focused on performance. The second pillar is credibility and governance. Mumbai's corporate legacy has instilled a culture of governance and transparency. This reflects when founders here follow good practices early, like forming independent boards, having a structured reporting, and maintaining financial discipline. And it's not because investors insist, it's because they know it builds longevity. The third pillar is the compounding culture. Mumbai doesn't chase spikes, it compounds. And that's the reason that typically we don't end up seeing fads in Mumbai. Founders here focus on steady, profitable growth, building resilience, reputation, and real value. This is the Mumbai blueprint, one that India's next generation of founders can emulate across ecosystems. At 361, we see this philosophy play out every day. We have been privileged to partner with many of India's most promising Soonicorns and unicorns as long-term growth partners and not just mere investors. Today, 361 is India's largest wealth and asset alternatives platform, managing over $78 billion in assets. Our private equity arm manages $3.6 billion across 85 portfolio companies, including over 15 Soonicorns. Amongst Mumbai-based Soonicorns, we have backed companies such as Sleep Company, which is a leader in the comfort tech space, Miko, a global player in AI-led robotics for children's learning, C5I, a leading data analytics platform, CleverTap, a leader in the customer engagement SaaS space, and SediMac, which is Pune-based and is one of the leading IP-led manufacturing-based control systems company. And amongst Mumbai's unicorns, we have backed companies such as Upgrad and Purple. We focus on growth partnerships, supporting founders through every stage from idea to IPO. When I look at the next generation of Soonicorns, the companies that will truly succeed are the ones that, one, build for the long term, which are agile and disciplined. Two, they're focused on governance and on profitable growth. And three, they choose the right partners who share conviction and vision. At 361, these are exactly the kind of companies we like to back. Those that blend ambition with governance, growth with discipline, and conviction with character. The real Mumbai blueprint isn't about just building unicorns. It's about building enduring institutions. So tonight, as we celebrate the close of this year's ET Soonicorn series, let's raise a toast to India's entrepreneurs and innovators, to the investors, and to the ecosystem builders who are gathered in this room. Thank you. Sure. The toast arrived a bit late. Thank you.